ulusha sijaba usato fetu shalifati ngungu wakuketangane madlozi yakuluma nawe.
Thokozani, Dumelang, Lisedi. Hello everyone and welcome to the 101 sessions with Gogo Musore, and I'm your host, Gogo Am, giving you guys tips, lessons, and teachings on everything spirituality. Okay, so today is Q&A day, questions and answers day, where I selected certain questions that have been asked to me, some on the comment section, others on my personal, not really personal, but WhatsApp, my consultation WhatsApp. So I've selected a couple of questions that I felt were very important, and I have decided to answer these questions here, okay? The first question is, can two people share the same ancestor? So, okay, spiritual gifts are very complicated. In a spiritual gift, you might find that in a family, right? Let's say it's a family of 5 people. In that family, maybe 3 or all the children have spiritual gifts. But one thing for sure is that no one can share the same ancestors. You can't share the same ancestor as your siblings. You can't share the same ancestors as your mother. You can't share the same ancestors as other people in the family lineage. Because what happens with ancestors is that there might be a core ancestors, meaning an ancestor from a later generation who in those generations, in the coming generations, did give his spiritual gifts to other people. And those people, when they pass on, they become ancestors as well. So yes, you might be linked by the same original ancestor, but to find what there are different ancestors that are governing you in that particular moment, where you'd find what even some things that you do may be similar but not the same. So no, two people cannot be governed by the same ancestors. It's completely impossible. Every single individual is governed by his or her own ancestors. Hence, that is why you'd find out, even in a family filled with people that are spiritually gifted, you'll find that one is gifted prophetically while others gifted traditionally. Like, the gifts might come differently. Another one is gifted to actually help people with certain sicknesses, while others are actually gifted with helping bana children and whatnot. So yeah, you cannot be governed by the same ancestors as multiple people in the family. Each and every person has his or her own ancestor that has chosen this person and said, you are the one to bear the gifts that I have for you. Hence, that is why the ancestors tend to treat people differently, because of the fact that the ancestors are not the same. They are different ancestors altogether. Okay? Number 2. Is it normal to dream of people from other races when you are spiritually gifted? Okay, yes, this is completely normal. So usually with people that associated with water spirits, so usually Awumunda and whatnot, those people, they say sometimes or often they have dreams of people from different races and whatnot. And it doesn't necessarily mean that your ancestors are from those different races, but Lorna, it is just them trying to represent themselves in a unique manner, because every single spirit represents itself in a unique manner on its own to try and show you what kind of spirit it is. So yes, as a spiritually gifted person, you can dream of people from different races, but Lorna, be very careful and very cautious with these dreams, because there are instances where as a person can dream of a white person, right? A white person can represent the Mdawe ancestors, but at the same time, it can also represent Dokolosh. You're being sent with this entity. So the best thing that I'd advise a person to do is to confirm whether or not this particular dream or vision shows you your ancestors or any entity that is being sent to you. Okay? Number 3, can a sangoma still be possessed by an evil spirit? Yes. A sangoma can be possessed by an evil spirit. So this is something that can occur in different ways. First of all, let's say, for example, a sangoma decides to take a life of a person. We all know what the rituals that we are all taught. Some are very gruesome, some rituals are just messed up, like ritual of killing someone and whatnot. So those kind of rituals, when you are a healer and your ancestors give you this gift, remember that the ancestors give you the gift to actually help people, to heal people. But you'd find that when you take this gift that they've given you and you start to harm people and whatnot, what you're doing is that you're inviting negative entities and energies and negative ancestors, people by longer when they passed away, when they were healers in their time, they were healers that actually harmed others. You attract those negative spirits. So at the end of the day, yes, you do attract evil spirits, whatnot. And regardless of the fact that you are practicing those kind of stuff, Lona, as a healer, remember that spiritually gifted people, we attract different entities altogether. So evil entities do get attracted to us, and they do try to possess our bodies on a natural occasion. Hence, that is why as a healer you need to make sure that you're always protected, you're always cleansed, you cleanse your area, you make sure that you leave no place undone to actually make sure there are no negative entities that are actually able to possess you or affect your life as a particular healer. Okay, number 4. Is it possible to convert your traditional gift to a prophetic one? Yes, it is possible, but this one is mainly possible if the gift that you have does not have any water spirits with it. Let's say, for example, you have Banguni alone. Banguni are the ancestors who use divine bones, the traditional ancestors, the ones that dance amalop and whatnot. So let's say you have a Banguni spirit. So Banguni spirit, you can actually take that spirit and convert it to a prophetic spirit. It's actually very possible, and it's actually a very easy process. But if you find that you have a traditional gift like Banguni, and your Banguni, they go hand in hand with Mandawi or any other type of water spirit, maybe Balos or Manzuza or whatnot, and the water spirits that you have in that particular time, they correlate or rather connect or want you to work in a traditional manner, then converting them is something that is completely impossible, because as we all know, water spirits are very stubborn, they are very strict. If they see something, then it's final. If the water spirits that you have want you to work in a traditional manner, then you cannot debate that. You are only given the choice to actually go and initiate and do what they want, or don't initiate and have a fight with them continuously for the rest of your life. So that will depend on the type of spirits that you have. But if you only have Banguni spirits or a traditional spirit on its own without water spirits combined with it, then yes, converting your gift into a prophetic gift, it is possible, and it is very easy to do actually. Number 5, can you ask your ancestors to give the gift to someone else? Okay, so this is a very complex question. In terms of giving a gift to someone else, ancestors, they don't just wake up one morning and say, "Ooh, I want to give this one my spiritual gift." They don't. So they pick people based on generations and whatnot, based on your soul, based on your character and whatnot. So they choose you before you were even born. Well, okay, this is the person who is actually going to bear the spiritual gift that I have as an ancestor, right? So when you are given a gift, it's something that you can't really force onto somebody else. The gift is yours and yours alone. So it's only up to you as to whether you're gonna initiate or not. But bear in mind that if you have a spiritual gift and you choose not to appease or initiate for your ancestors, you will become an ancestor yourself. But your problem is that you'll be an ancestor that cannot go into the light and unite with all the other ancestors, because you pass on without having done what is needed to be done for your ancestors, or what you had to do for yourself, or having not accomplished your life's mission. You're gonna be one of those ancestors, you know those kind of, like, I hope I don't get struck with lightning for saying this, but you know those kind of ancestors, this ancestor is forcing a person to initiate so badly, and they're even tearing their life apart, mainly because they didn't initiate when they had the time. So now, given the fact that where they are, they're not in a good space, they are just making another person's life very difficult and very harsh, because once the person initiates, then it will actually help, or rather release that spirit and help it unite with the other ancestors properly. That is the results that you'll actually encounter. So no, you cannot give your gift to anybody else. When you're born with the gift, it is yours alone. It's the same way, let's say for example, you are a mother. Okay, you are a person who had parents who are spiritually gifted, but when you're not spiritually gifted, and your parents pass away, and you decide, oh, you're going to go to and continue that legacy. It's not how it works. But not their ancestors, or when they choose, once they pass on, they will become ancestors. So in the lineage, in the family lineage, they will pick and choose who takes the gift. Not anyone can say, well, okay, I want to initiate, I want to be a sangoma, and just snap their fingers and go to initiation and do that. That's completely impossible. But even gobelas will actually see that, and given the fact that you're forcing something, it's not even there to begin with, they'll be like, okay, you can come. But what will you be initiating for at the end of the day, because you don't have amadlozi to begin with? So no, you cannot have someone initiate on your behalf or take your gift. In a sense, you cannot give your gift to someone else. In a sense, when you're given a gift, you're born with it, it's yours alone, and only you can use and manifest it however it is that you want to do that. Okay. Another one is, can you ask the ancestors to give you... Oh, no, I read this one. Okay, so the last question is, can someone else initiate on your behalf? No. So this one does go hand in hand with the one that I asked earlier. No one can initiate on your behalf. Like I said, you are born with the gift. The gift is yours and it's yours alone. No one can take this gift unless if this gift is stolen from you, unless if this person steals your gift. And when your gift is stolen, the person will initiate for those ancestors, but they will be taking your gifts, your strength, your blessings, meaning your life will be put on hold for ever, or up until you are able to fight this person spiritually and regain your ancestors back and get your ancestors back and whatnot. But other than that, if it's you just wanting someone else to initiate on your behalf, that is something that cannot happen. It will never be possible unless if your gift is stolen from you, which is actually common in terms of spiritual gifts and the issues that come with spiritual gifts, the quarrels in a sense, people that are fighting over bongaka in the family and whatnot. Well, now what they can do is actually steal the gift that you have. Anyways, that is it for today's Q&A. I hope this was mindful and the information was good for you guys. And yeah, thank you guys for watching. Have a beautiful one. Thokozani. Bye bye.
Madlozi yakhuluma nawe, idlozi liyavuma.